Okay, today I'll be showing you how to polish these fans. I got interrupted a little bit, so it's originally supposed to look like that, so I'll probably go up here a little more to show you. But it's pretty straightforward. Trying to get it to where you can see it really well. Okay. Hopefully that's in decent focus. I'm gonna spray a lot of this hot rim stuff. Wheel cleaner. Don't get the aluminum kind, get this, a pink bottle. And you wanna scrub this around with a soft toothbrush. I put a lot for the area I'm doing, because if you were doing a smaller area, you'd want less. Just because I usually do it area at a time, so that way I can wipe this off, because the stuff will dissolve paint. And if this is on a Japan fan, so if it's not on a Japan fan, you definitely want to take this off really quickly, like probably, say like about now you'd wipe it off, but since it's Japan, I don't have to worry. Wipe it off with a damp cloth. I usually go dry because it doesn't really matter with Japan. Make sure you get it off everything, because when if this stuff sits on your paint that's not Japan, I mean it probably will take Japan off, I've never tried, but if it sits on a non-Japan fan, Japan is this type of finish where it's kind of wavy because I dip it and stuff, it will take off the paint. So as you can see, it's pretty clean. I don't know how in focus it is. Doing this kind of close, and usually you get a damp towel and wipe it dry, because next you're using Blue Magic. You can get Mother's aluminum polish too, but I find Blue Magic is really good because it's a little more gritty than Mother's. And this is the key. This is the key. Microfiber towel. You can get these for cheap and throw them away when they get really dirty. I tried washing them once to see how well this stuff came out. It didn't, so just throw it away. And as you can see, I'm gonna polish right here. I'll polish where you can see it. This one isn't as greasy, but you want to get a lot of that grease off. Continue polishing, and when you polish through, you'll see it shine like that. And you won't have to polish as much, but on the base, you'll have to polish more, and you'll see you'll start taking off the grease. See how it starts squeaking? That's when you know it's shiny. Sometimes that isn't the case for every fan, but on Emerson's you're fine. You do that, and then you see it gets a little brown because that is actual Japan. Then you start wiping it off on the clean side. And you see how it looks fine now, but it actually looks even better with car wax. Now, obviously, I do the whole fan before I polish it. I would use the hot rims and go around scrubbing it, and then wipe it down with a damp cloth, get it all off. If you're doing the motor, you want to cover the motor vents, because this stuff will dissolve varnish, which is bad. You can get you don't have to have this Meguiar's Carnauba wax. In like this case, you can get the regular stuff that's not the plus. You just scoop it out on this applicator. And mine is kind of saturated already. I've used it a lot. I should have gotten a new one, but it works. I have another one, but it's not as soft. You just scrub it in there like this. I usually do it for a little bit because it is wax and you want to apply it evenly. Oh yeah, now we're good. And I usually wait 2 minutes. Depending on the size, you can wait a little longer. I mean, I found that it's better for you to let it dry. Not completely, but close enough. So that way it cleans most of it. Now, you'll want to do this with non-Japan fans. You will not scrub it for as long. What I recommend is you spray it in an area like on, well, I mean, this actually method does work on other appliances. I haven't tried it on a ceramic finish. I don't think it would do anything. I don't know, I'd try some. Usually what you want to do is try a spot where you know nobody's going to look. That's why I've done this before on these fans, so I know I can trust it. But if you're new to this and you don't understand how long to scrub a fan for before you see the paint start peeling off, there's a point I messed up one time and it really sucked because I actually like the fan. And I recommend that you be very, very careful when you do that, because that is the last thing you want to have happen, where you accidentally scrub through the paint and you were trying to save it. I recommend doing it near the back of the bottom of the base to where nobody can see it, like a small portion. Scrub it. I recommend no more than 25 or 30 seconds on a non-Japan fan. On a non-Japan fan, you can scrub more. Usually, this one's not as greasy, but some of them, I'll show you one. It's pretty greasy, and you'll have to do it for like a little bit. Or what you can do is, if you do the whole base, what you can do is you can wipe it up or scrub it, and then this is if you completely disassemble the fan. You can take it outside and wash it off, but you have to take everything electrical out, and that's usually what I do. I disassemble my fans completely, because some people like to, obviously I have to redo the head wire and I'm not doing it from the outside, so I just do everything the proper way. Some people don't have that skill. I recommend you learn how to do this. It's really simple once you learn how a motor works. It's just windings in there and wire, and it creates a magnetic field and spins the, there's this thing that spins, it's called a rotor, short for rotating thing. I don't know how it came to be, but that's how it works. Uses electricity. But that should be dry now. Sometimes it'll squeak when it's really wet, clean. Yeah, like right there. Now you're done. Little coating on there. You can see it's really simple. I mean, some people think it's hard, but it's really not for what you're doing. Look at that. That is clean. Obviously, there's gonna be scratches, but for what it is, it's really clean. You can see right here, that is a bunch of grease buildup. You can see I polished it over there already. See how it shines? That's a bunch of grease buildup. Now, if you don't want to use that, I've done this before and I went through cans and cans of this stuff. If you don't want to use the hot rims, what you can do is you can just use the cleaner and wait till you see the good paint. I recommend not doing this because it takes a while, unless, another thing. If there's a lacquer on the top of the paint and you leave that hot rims on too long, it will take the lacquer off. I've had it happen where you're polishing up a fan and you're wondering why the paint isn't shining as much. It's because the lacquer's gone off, and either you have to reapply it after everything is clean, or you just polish it with with the polisher. You just have to be very careful not to polish too hard. What I was doing is hard because I'm used to it. You can lightly polish it and just test. Best way to test is obviously behind something, but that's my method. I guess I could do a non-Japan fan or whatever. These Power Airs, the blades are really like thin. You can see it already bled through. It's fine though. Looks clean enough, but that's what happens when you go through paint. You go to the base and most of these didn't have any primer, so there's not really a way to know besides until you see metal. So you can see the waviness in the Japan. That's how you know it's Japan, because it's was dipped rather than sprayed. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully your fan will look like that, because I've seen a lot of these fans where they have great paint, but nobody polishes them and they look dull. I mean, they're clean, but they just look dull. That will shine soon. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and that's how I polish paint.